So dear students, once again it's very hearty welcome in this online classroom and for these online lectures. I am Professor Chandrasekhar Joshi from Yeola, and from today we are going to start the teaching and learning process. We are going to study the 12th bio revised syllabus, which is going to implement from this new academic year 2020-21. Friends, already all of you are very well known about the syllabus, about all the chapters, etc. And therefore from today directly we are going to start the study of our first chapter in our syllabus of 12th bio, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants. The title of our first chapter is reproduction in lower and higher plants. Reproduction in lower and higher plants. Dear friends, before starting the teaching, I would like to tell you, and I might have discussed with you, that as most of the students are from Marathi medium, also from semi-English medium, and also from rural area. So for the proper understanding of all those students, I am going to communicate with you in Marathi as well as in English language. So don't bother about it, because rather than language, the proper understanding, proper comprehension of each and every topic is necessary, is important. One. So now let us start the study of this chapter, reproduction in lower and higher plants. Actually friends, in 11th, in very first chapter, you people have studied about different characteristic features of life. In 11th, in very first chapter of bio, you people have studied the characteristic features of life, such as growth, development, reproduction, metabolism, sensitivity, cellular structure and so on. मला वाटतं मी काय म्हणतोय आपल्या लक्षात आलं असेल. 11वी मध्ये पहिल्याच चॅप्टर मध्ये तुम्ही लोकांनी सजीवांची वेगवेगळी वैशिष्ट्ये अभ्यासलेली आहे. आपण त्याचा अभ्यास केलाय. जसं आता मी म्हटलं, ग्रोथ, डेव्हलपमेंट, वाढ, विकास, मेटाबॉलिझम, चयापचय क्रिया, रिप्रोडक्शन अर्थात प्रजनन, इरिटेबिलिटी और सेन्सिटिव्हिटी अर्थात संवेदनशीलता, सेल्युलर स्ट्रक्चर पेशीमय रचना इत्यादि. So first of all we can say that reproduction, it is one of the characteristic feature shown by living organism. Now what is reproduction? That also we have studied in 11. You all are aware about the definition of reproduction, meaning of reproduction. We know that reproduction, it is nothing but the process in which living organism, reproduction is nothing but it is the process in which living organism makes copy of itself. Living organism makes copy of itself. Here we are going to discuss about the meaning of this term, about the definition of this term, reproduction. So initially I said that reproduction is nothing but it is a process in which living organism makes copy of itself, makes copy of itself, copy of itself. Or we can define living organism we can define reproduction in another way also. Reproduction is the ability shown by living organism. Reproduction is the ability shown by living organism in which parent produces new young ones which show similarity in most of the characters, in most of the aspects with that of parents. That is, the parents give birth to the young ones. Parents produces new individuals which show similarity in most of the characters with that of parents. Or we can say that reproduction is nothing but simply it is extension of life. We can say extension of life of any particular species. Extension of life of any particular species. So we can say, or we can define reproduction by different ways. What did I say? I am going to talk once again. I said that reproduction, it is basic fundamental characteristic feature shown by living organism. Reproduction, it is a process in which living organism makes copy of itself, or reproduction, it is a process in which parents give birth to the new young ones. Parents give birth to the new young ones which show similarity in most of the characters. And third and very simple definition here I have mentioned, that is, reproduction is nothing but the extension of life of species. अर्थात आपण मराठीत असं सांगू शकतो की रिप्रोडक्शन म्हणजे प्रजनन ही अशी एक जैविक क्रिया आहे की ज्यामध्ये सजीव हा नवीन अपत्यांना जन्म देत असतो. सजीव हा नवीन पिढीतील अपत्यांना जन्म देत असतो आणि ती नवीन अपत्य हे अर्थातच त्याच्या पॅरेंट्स प्रमाणे, त्याच्या पालकांप्रमाणे बरेचसे गुणधर्म दाखवत असतात. नाउ क्वेश्चन अराइजेस, व्हाय इज रिप्रोडक्शन इसेन्शियल? प्रश्न निर्माण होतो की रिप्रोडक्शन प्रजनन ही क्रिया का आवश्यक आहे? रिप्रोडक्शन किंवा प्रजनन ही क्रिया का आवश्यक आहे? सो लेट अस टॉक अबाउट the need of reproduction, or we can say the significance or importance of reproduction. Significance or importance of reproduction. प्रजनन या क्रियेला काय महत्व आहे हे आपल्याला या ठिकाणी समजून घ्यायचं आहे. First of all, I will say that reproduction is necessary for the continuation and perpetuation of species. Continuation and perpetuation of species. Perpetuation of species of any particular living organism. Now what does it mean? Perpetuation. Perpetuation, the meaning is same. Continuation or preservation. We all are known in any particular population, the old individual undergo senescence. That is, the old individuals undergo aging changes and later on they dies off. And therefore for the continuation of their race, for the perpetuation of species of that living organism, first of all the new individuals are to be produced. That is nothing but the reproduction. मला वाटतं मी काय बोललो आपल्या सगळ्यांना कळलं असेल की प्रजनन का आवश्यक आहे. प्रजनन ही क्रिया सजीवांमध्ये का आवश्यक आहे? प्रत्येक सजीव रिप्रोडक्शन का दाखवतो? कारण आपल्याला माहिती आहे की कुठल्याही सजीवाच्या पॉप्युलेशन मध्ये जे ओल्ड इंडिव्हिज्युअल्स असतात त्यांच्यामध्ये सिनेसन्स होतं. ही नैसर्गिक क्रिया आहे. सिनेसन्स याचा अर्थ एजिंग चेंजेस, आणि पर्यायाने काही कालाने त्यांचा मृत्यू होतो. मग जर ओल्ड इंडिव्हिज्युअल्सची डेथ होणार असेल तर त्या ठिकाणी त्या जातीचा, त्या स्पेशीजचा वंश, रेस ही थांबू शकते, संपू शकते. आणि म्हणून त्याच्या आधीच पुढच्या पिढीतील अपत्यांना जन्म घेणं हे गरजेचं असतं आणि म्हणून रिप्रोडक्शन हे गरजेचं आहे. So here very briefly I told you the significance or importance, first significance or importance of reproduction, that is the reproduction is necessary for continuation or perpetuation of any particular species. Second thing we can say, reproduction, it helps to increase the number of individual. Reproduction, it helps to increase the number of individuals. To increase the number of individuals of any particular species. To increase the number of individuals of any particular species. The meaning is simple. अर्थात विशिष्ट जातीच्या सजीवांची संख्या वाढण्यासाठी रिप्रोडक्शनची गरज असते. तिसरं आपण या ठिकाणी सांगू शकतो, द रिप्रोडक्शन is necessary to replace the lost individuals. To replace the lost individuals of any particular species. We know that in the population of any particular living organism, the individuals can be lost either by death or by emigration. Emigration means what? Living of that locality, living of that population, or to move from one population to another population. So either due to death or due to the emigration, whatever individuals get lost, they are replaced by new individual produced by reproduction. मला वाटतं आपल्या अर्थ लक्षात आला असेल. एखाद्या सजीवांचं जे पॉप्युलेशन आहे, समूह आहे, त्यामध्ये जे ओल्ड इंडिव्हिज्युअल्सची डेथ होते, तसंच काही इंडिव्हिज्युअल्स ते पॉप्युलेशन सोडून दुसरीकडे स्थलांतरित होतात. अशा वेळेला त्या पॉप्युलेशनला सोडून गेलेल्या, पॉप्युलेशन मधून कमी झालेल्या सजीवांची जागा नवीन सजीव घेत असतात, की जे अर्थातच रिप्रोडक्शनमुळेच जन्म घेऊ शकतात. रिप्रोडक्शन ही क्रिया त्याच्यासाठी आवश्यक असते. आणखीन एक सिग्निफिकन्स या ठिकाणी आपण म्हणू शकतो, दॅट इज द रिप्रोडक्शन इट सपोर्ट द प्रोसेस ऑफ इव्होल्यूशन. इट सपोर्ट द प्रोसेस ऑफ इव्होल्यूशन. प्रोसेस ऑफ इव्होल्यूशन. Now what is evolution? That you people might have studied in 11th, and there is a separate chapter in our 12th syllabus, origin and evolution. At that time I will talk, but simply evolution means we know the gradual change taking place in the living organism from simple to complex. In Marathi, Utkranti. Here I said the reproduction is support the evolution, especially the sexual reproduction. It helps the process of evolution. How? That we shall study later on in another chapter. So here in the introductory part, in this introductory part, first of all we have discussed simply about the meaning of term reproduction, and simultaneously we have discussed about few of the significances of reproduction. I hope you might have understood. Now we are going to move towards the actual methods of reproduction seen in plants. Methods of reproduction in plants. There are so many different methods of reproduction seen in plants. So many methods are there. But all those different methods of reproduction in plants, seen in plants, are broadly categorized into two types. वनस्पतींमध्ये प्रजननाच्या असंख्य वेगवेगळ्या पद्धती आहेत, आणि या पद्धती प्रमुख दोन प्रकारामध्ये विभागल्या जातात, such as asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So, first of all, I would like to discuss with you about some basic differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Basic differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Actually, these differences are not mentioned in our textbook. आपल्या पुस्तकामध्ये अशा प्रकारचं दोन या असेक्शुअल आणि सेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन मध्ये काय प्रमुख फरक आहे हा दिलेला नाहीये, पण आपल्या अधिकच्या माहितीसाठी आपण या गोष्टी डिस्कस करतोय. सो हियर इन टॅब्युलर फॉर्म आय एम गोइंग टू राईट हियर फ्यू डिस्टिंग्विशिंग पॉइंट्स बिटवीन सेक्शुअल अँड asexual reproduction. Let us talk. First point about the asexual reproduction. The asexual reproduction is known as uniparental reproduction. Uniparental reproduction. Name itself indicates. Uni stands for one, parental stands for parent. Means asexual reproduction is carried out by single parent only. Only single parent individual is involved in asexual, while sexual reproduction is either uniparental or biparental. It means during sexual reproduction two individual parents are involved, or sexual reproduction may be carried out by single parent. Mind well, as far as concerned with the plants, in the same chapter you will come across later on, cell pollination involves single plant. It means we can say that sexual reproduction is either carried out by single parent or it may involve two individual parents. Uniparental sexual reproduction, uniparental or biparental. Second, the asexual reproduction is carried out without formation of sex organs. Without formation of sex organs. याचा अर्थ असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन मध्ये सेक्स ऑर्गन्स तयारच होत नाहीत. पर्यायाने द सेक्स सेल्स दॅट इज गॅमेट्स आर नॉट फॉर्म. गॅमेट्स आर नॉट इन्व्हॉल्व्ड. पर्यायाने त्या ठिकाणी गॅमेट्स तयार होत नाहीत. मात्र सेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन मध्ये द सेक्स ऑर्गन्स आर फॉर्म. दॅट individuals who are going to reproduce sexually, they show the development of sex organs, and obviously they also produces the gametes. So here gametes are involved. As in asexual reproduction, gametes are not involved, male and female gametes are not involved, so there is no chance of fertilization. Means we can say that during asexual reproduction, male and female gamete does not unite together. Fertilization does not take place. Means asexual reproduction takes place without fusion of gametes. असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन मध्ये मेल आणि फिमेल गॅमेट तयारच होत नाहीत, इन्व्हॉल्व होत नाहीत. पर्यायाने त्यांचं फ्युजन होत नाही, फर्टिलायझेशन होत नाही, फलन होत नाही आणि फर्टिलायझेशन न होताच त्या ठिकाणी नवीन अपत्य जन्माला येतं. इट मीन्स हियर द न्यू इंडिव्हिज्युअल is produced without fusion of gametes, therefore it may be called as apomixis. Asexual reproduction is called apomixis. Apo, this word stands for without or free, and mixis stands for the mixing, that is fusion of male and female gamete. But here we know the sexual reproduction, it always involves the fusion of gametes, that is we can say fertilization. Another difference we can say, the offspring produced during asexual reproduction, offspring produced, that is new young one produced during asexual reproduction, are genetically identical. Offspring produced are genetically identical. with each other and with their parents. Why? That you will understand later on slowly. Okay, let me tell you simultaneously. The genetic variation is possible only if there is certain genetic recombination, genetic reshuffling. अर्थात सजीवांमध्ये नवीन गुणधर्म केव्हा निर्माण होतात, जर त्या ठिकाणी जेनेटिक रिकॉम्बिनेशन झालं, जेनेटिक रिशफलिंग झालं. जेनेटिक रिकॉम्बिनेशन, रिशफलिंग हे सगळे टॉपिक आपल्याला पुढच्या काही चॅप्टर्स मध्ये येणार आहेत. पण तात्पुरतं या ठिकाणी जेनेटिक रिकॉम्बिनेशन होण्याचे काहीच चान्सेस नसतात. बिकॉज हिअर क्रॉसिंग ओव्हर ही जी मियोसिस मधली स्पेशल ऍक्टिव्हिटी आहे ती इथे घडत नाही. आणि त्यामुळे जे सजीव अलैंगिक, असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शनने तयार होतात त्यांच्यामध्ये नवीन अपत्यांमध्ये कुठलंही व्हॅरिएशन, नवीन गुणधर्म पॅरेंट्स पेक्षा दिसत नाही. व्हाईल द सेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन it involve genetic recombination, and therefore the genetic variations are seen among offsprings. जी नवीन अपत्ये जन्माला येतात सेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन मुळे त्यांच्यामध्ये अर्थातच नवीन गुणधर्म, व्हॅरिएशन्स, पालकांपेक्षा वेगळे गुणधर्म हे दिसत असतात. नाउ the asexual reproduction is comparatively rapid method. It is comparatively rapid method. It is simple, rapid, primitive method of reproduction, and therefore whatever individuals are born by asexual reproduction are more in number in a particular time span. लक्षात घ्या, असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शनची क्रिया ही तुलनात्मक साधी आहे. आय विल से इट इज लेस ॲडव्हान्स्ड, इट इज सिंपल अँड रॅपिड मेथड. आणि त्यामुळे असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शनमुळे जी अपत्य जन्माला येतात ते अर्थातच त्या ठिकाणी जास्त विशिष्ट कालावधीमध्ये जास्त संख्येने असतात. आणि या उलट सेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इट इज कंपॅरेटिव्हली स्लो प्रोसेस. It is comparatively slow process, and therefore whatever individuals are born during sexual reproduction, they are comparatively less in number in a given time, in a particular time. So here, first of all, just we have tried our best to understand some of the basic differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Briefly, I would like to say that asexual reproduction does not involve sex or sex cells, and sexual reproduction it involves the sexes or sex cells, that is gametes. That's all about briefly the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. Dear friends, just now we have discussed about the meaning of this term reproduction. We have discussed about the significance, importance or need of reproduction, and also briefly we have discussed about the distinguishing points, differences between the asexual and sexual reproduction. Now here, first of all, we are going to start the study of asexual reproduction in lower and higher plants. This is the initial part of this chapter. Asexual reproduction in lower and higher plants. Just now I told you that asexual reproduction does not involve the sexes. Asexual reproduction does not involve the sex cells, that is gametes. Asexual reproduction does not involve the fusion of male and female gamete. That's why it is also known as apomixis. I hope you do remember. I told you that apo, this word stands for free or without, and mixis stands for the fusion. Okay, fusion. अर्थात या ठिकाणी असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन होत असताना मेल आणि फिमेल गॅमेट फ्यूज होत नाही, इन्व्हॉल्व होत नाही, म्हणून याला ॲपोमिक्सिस असं म्हणतात. मला असं कोणी विचारू शकतं की व्हाय इज असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन कॉल्ड ॲपोमिक्सिस? द मिनिंग इज व्हेरी सिम्पल. As asexual reproduction is carried out without fusion or union of male and female gametes, therefore it is called apomixis. So in another words we can say that what is asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction. Asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction which is carried out by any means without involvement of gametes, without involvement of fusion of gametes. Now I told you before few minutes that during asexual reproduction, the new individuals born are genetically identical. Such genetically identical individuals born by asexual reproduction are called ramate. Try to understand. Genetically identical individuals born during asexual reproduction are called ramates. That single individual is called ramate, and the population or group of such ramates, that is the group of ramates, group of genetically identical individuals, is known as clone. I think you might have came across this term clone, clones, etc. Meaning is very simple. The group of genetically identical individuals, and as their genetic material is same, their genotype is same. I think the term genotype is new for the students of 12th, but I hope in your 10th class while studying the Mendel you might have came across this term genotype. If not, we shall study here in the 12th. But these individuals are genotypically similar, that's why they also are phenotypically similar, that is their external characters are also same, and such genetically identical, genotypically identical individuals are formed during asexual reproduction, and their group is known as the clone. Now here in this chapter we people have to study the asexual reproduction in lower and higher plants. So first of all, let us talk about asexual reproduction in lower plants. सुरुवातीला आपण विचार करणार आहोत asexual reproduction in lower plants. आता lower plants म्हणजे काय हे तुम्हा सगळ्या लोकांना माहिती आहे, याच्यावर आपली चर्चा झालेली आहे. Lower plants याचा अर्थ especially the cryptogams, especially we can say algae and fungi, they are regarded as lower plants. Now in such lower plants, asexual reproduction in lower plants, in such lower plants reproduction takes place by three main ways. तीन प्रमुख पद्धती आपल्याला अभ्यासायच्या आहेत. First, fragmentation, second, budding, and third, sporulation. First, fragmentation, second, budding, and third, sporulation. So now let us talk first of all about the fragmentation. लोअर प्लांट्स मध्ये असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शनच्या तीन प्रमुख पद्धती आहेत. आता मी तुम्हाला म्हटलं पहिली पद्धत फ्रॅगमेंटेशन, दुसरी बडिंग आणि तिसरी आहे that is sporulation. पहिल्यांदा आपण विचार करू फ्रॅगमेंटेशन. अतिशय सोपी अशी पद्धत आहे. फ्रॅगमेंटेशन, this type of asexual reproduction, this method of asexual reproduction is seen mostly in multicellular filamentous algae. Multicellular filamentous algae. A very typical example is of Spirogyra. Spirogyra. You know that Spirogyra, it is an aquatic algae. It is multicellular and filamentous algae. Let me draw here a very rough diagram. Suppose here is the algal filament, multicellular filament, that is of Spirogyra. Now, in such filament, in such multicellular filament, Spirogyra, we know many cells are attached with each other end to end. During fragmentation, this filament of Spirogyra breaks off. The filament of Spirogyra breaks off into two or more pieces. The filament of Spirogyra, filament of such multicellular I will say filamentous algae, breaks off into two or more pieces by any mechanical injury, or I will say because of any physical factor. Even the water currents can break the algal filament. याचा अर्थ एखाद्या कुठल्याही भौतिक यांत्रिक अशा घटकामुळे या फिलामेंटचे तुकडे होतात, दोन किंवा दोनापेक्षा अधिक. आता जसं मी म्हटलं की अगदी वॉटर करंट्स, पाण्याच्या तीव्र अशा लहरींमुळे सुद्धा त्याचे तुकडे होतात. किंवा दुसरा पर्याय, some of the old cells undergo decaying. कल्पना करा की या ठिकाणी ज्या मी सेल्स दाखवल्या त्याच्यातली ही एक सेल ओल्ड सेल आहे आणि समजा तिचं डिकम्पोजिशन झालं, ती डिके झाली, कुजून गेली, तर अर्थातच ही जर सेल या ठिकाणी कुजून गेली तो ऑब्वियसली त्या अल्गल फिलामेंटचे दोन पीसेस होतील. याचा अर्थ ड्यूरिंग फ्रॅगमेंटेशन दॅट filament of alga breaks off into two or more pieces, either by any due to the effect of any physical factor, due to any mechanical injury, or maybe due to the decaying of some intermediate old cell, leading to the formation of two fragments, two pieces, and that each fragment, that each piece later on grows into new individual filament. This is nothing but the fragmentation. The first and very simple way of asexual reproduction in lower plants, that is fragmentation. Now come to the second way of asexual reproduction in lower plants, that is budding. Bud formation. In short, budding or bud formation. Let us see what does it mean. Budding, it is a type of asexual reproduction mostly seen in Saccharomyces. I hope you do remember Saccharomyces. It is the genus which include so many different species of yeast. It includes so many different species of yeasts. A very typical species you might be aware, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. I hope you might have studied little bit about it. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, also called as the brewer's yeast or baker's yeast, used during the alcoholic fermentation, it is used in bakery, etc., etc. Leave it. Now these yeast cells are unicellular. Yeast is nothing but the unicellular fungus. It is unicellular fungus. It is saprotropic type of fungus. And in yeast, in mature cell of yeast, a small protuberance, a small outgrowth develops. This small outgrowth develops. That is nothing but the bud. That is nothing but the bud. Now this outgrowth, this swelling, this protuberance, it enlarges, it grows in its size. Simultaneously, the nucleus of parent cell, it divides into two daughter nuclei. These both cells, that is the parent cell and this protuberance, that is nothing but the bud, receives single nucleus each, and later on this bud, when grows completely, detaches from the parent cell and it lives independent life. So there is a formation of new individual. So simply this mode of asexual reproduction is known as budding. That is the formation of new individual by the formation of bud. That's all about the budding. A simple method of asexual reproduction. Now let us talk about the third method of asexual reproduction in lower plants, that is sporulation. Sporulation name itself indicate. Sporulation means spore formation. Spore formation. Now what is spore? Listen, I said that sporulation, it is a type of asexual reproduction seen in lower plants. Which lower plants? That I will tell you. But first of all, try to understand the meaning of sporulation. Sporulation याचा अर्थ स्पोर फॉर्मेशन. मराठी माध्यमात शिकलेल्या विद्यार्थी स्पोरला बीजाणू असं म्हणतात. आता या ठिकाणी स्पोरची व्याख्या कशी केली जाऊ शकते ते आपल्याला माहित पाहिजे. द स्पोर इज डिफाइंड ॲज इट इज हॅप्लॉइड asexual reproductive body. Spore is defined as it is unicellular haploid asexual reproductive body. Now the spores are either motile or non-motile. The spores are either motile or we can say non-motile. Motile in the sense the spores which have ability of independent movement. Now these motile spores are produced by algae. I would like to give example. Chlamydomonas. It is one of the algae, Chlamydomonas, and it produces motile spores which are flagellated. Flagellated in the sense these spores show flagella, pair of flagella. Let me explain you. In alga, Chlamydomonas नावाची जी algae आहे, शैवाल आहे, त्या Chlamydomonas नावाच्या शैवालामध्ये, algae काही पेशींमध्ये समजा की त्या Chlamydomonas नावाच्या algaeची एक पेशी आहे, एक सेल आहे, तिच्यामध्ये या ठिकाणी अशा प्रकारे हे स्पोर्स तयार होतात. या ठिकाणी मी हे स्पोर्स दाखवतोय. तुमच्या लक्षात आलं असेल की या स्पोर्सला दोन फ्लॅजेला आहेत. यू नो फ्लॅजेला, these are slightly elongated hair like structure which help in swimming. Okay, now this cell in which these spores are produced is known as zoosporangium. Zoosporangium. And the flagellated cells, motile spores, are called as the zoospores. Zoospores. अशा प्रकारचे जे मोटाईल किंवा फ्लॅजेलेटेड स्पोर्स तयार होतात अल्गी मध्ये, उदाहरण दिलं मी क्लॅमायडोमोनास मध्ये, अर्थातच अशा स्पोर्सला झू स्पोर्स म्हणतात. You know, zoo, this word stands for animal, and animal shows a special peculiarity of movement, locomotion. So here these spores, with the help of their flagella, can swim in water independently. Therefore they are named as zoospores. Now some of the spores are non-motile, non-flagellated, without flagellated, and these are produced say by algae. These are produced by fungi. Typical example I would like to give, that is of Penicillium. Penicillium. It is a fungus. तुम्हाला माहित आहे, हा एक कवकाचा प्रकार आहे. फंगस बाबत आपण सगळे शिकलोय. इयत्ता 11वीत आपल्याला माहित आहे की फंजाईची बॉडी हे असंख्य व्हाईटिश कॉटनी थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स ते बनलेली असते. That each cottony thread-like structure is called hypha, and the network of that hypha is known as mycelium. आता कल्पना करा की या ठिकाणी पेनिसिलियमची ही हायफा आहे. काही हायफा अशा प्रकारे सरळ वर वाढतात. Some of the hyphae they grow up erect, and on these hyphae the spores are born. The spores are born. Here, with the help of these small circles, I am going to show the spores. These are the spores. These are the spores. Now here you can see these spores are non-motile. They does not show flagella, so they are non-motile. And such non-motile spores are called as conidia. They are called conidia. The hypha on which conidia are produced is known as conidiophore. Conidiophore. It means in algae like Chlamydomonas, the flagellated and motile zoospores are produced, and in fungi like Penicillium, non-motile spores, that is conidia, are produced. Now when these spores fall on certain suitable substratum under favorable conditions, under suitable conditions, that each spore grows, develops into new plant body. So we can say the zoospore, it develops into new algal filament, and conidium, it grows into new fungal mycelium. So in this way, here we have discussed about the 3 major ways of asexual reproduction in lower plants. I hope you do remember. First, fragmentation seen in Spirogyra. Second, just now we have studied, that is budding, especially seen in Saccharomyces, different species of Saccharomyces, that is yeast. And third, that is sporulation, spore formation. Okay, so here we have discussed about the asexual reproduction in lower plants. Now we have to move to the study of asexual reproduction in higher plants. Asexual reproduction in higher plants. Higher plants in the sense, I will say the angiosperms, flowering plants. So let us start the study of asexual reproduction in higher plants. Just as I said, flowering plants, that is angiosperms, are regarded as the higher plants. In higher plants, in angiosperms, the asexual reproduction is carried out. Listen, in higher plants, that is in angiosperms, the asexual reproduction is carried out with the help of any of the plant part except seed. It means in angiosperms, in flowering plants, in higher plants, सपुष्प वनस्पतींमध्ये asexual reproduction is carried out with the help of any of the plant part, that is either with the help of root or stem or leaf. I hope you might have understood. Asexual reproduction in higher plants, अर्थात ज्या सपुष्प वनस्पती आहे, ज्यांना आपण एंजिओस्पर्मिक प्लांट्स म्हणतो, त्यांच्यामध्ये असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन हे वनस्पतीच्या कोणत्याही भागामार्फत घडवून आणलं जाऊ शकतं एक्सेप्ट सीड व्यतिरिक्त, बियांचा वापर न करता. मग त्या ठिकाणी ते असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन रूट, स्टेम, लीफ, बड कशाच्याही मदतीने घडवून आणलं जाईल. अर्थात आपल्याला माहिती आहे, आपण 11वीत शिकला आहात, the root, stem or leaves, they are regarded as vegetative plant parts because they perform vegetative function. All these things we have discussed in 11th. 11वीत आपण हे सगळं शिकला आहात. मग या ठिकाणी the reproduction, multiplication, propagation is carried out with the help of these vegetative plant parts. Therefore, asexual reproduction in higher plants is also known as vegetative reproduction. Or simply we can say vegetative propagation. And the plant part, that is we can say a small piece of root or small piece of stem or small piece of leaf, which is to be used for vegetative propagation, is called propagule. Mind well, name itself indicate. Propagule. याचा अर्थ वनस्पतीचा ज्या शाखीय भागाचा उपयोग करून हे शाखीय प्रजनन घडून आणलं जातं, व्हेजिटेटिव्ह रिप्रोडक्शन घडून आणलं जातं, त्या वनस्पतीच्या भागाला प्रोपोग्यूल असं म्हणते. प्रोपोग्यूल याचा अर्थ काय? विच ब्रिंग अबाउट व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपोगेशन. नाउ हियर द असेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन हायर प्लांट्स is known as vegetative reproduction, vegetative propagation, and this vegetative propagation in higher plant is again carried out by two different ways. म्हणजे या वनस्पतींमध्ये हे शाखीय प्रजनन दोन पद्धतीने घडून येतं. एक नॅचरल व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपोगेशन, आणि दुसरं आर्टिफिशियल व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपोगेशन. Natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. Name itself indicate. Natural vegetative propagation means what? The vegetative propagation of plant which occurs naturally. And artificial vegetative propagation means the vegetative propagation which is carried out by different man-made techniques. Okay, so here first of all briefly I am going to talk about natural vegetative propagation in plants. Actually in our textbook of 12th nothing is given about the natural vegetative propagation, or whatever given, that is very briefly. I am going to share some of the information so that you can recall your previous knowledge of 11th. So let us talk about the natural vegetative propagation. नॅचरल व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपगेशन. आत्ताच मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं, मराठीतून सांगतो की नैसर्गिकरित्या घडून येणारं शाखीय प्रजनन. या ठिकाणी नैसर्गिकरित्या वनस्पतींचं प्रोपगेशन मल्टिप्लिकेशन घडून येत असतं. प्लीज रिकॉल युअरसेल्फ इन 11th in our one chapter morphology of flowering plants we have studied about the root, stem, leaves as well as their different modifications. I hope you do remember. 11वीत आपण रूट, स्टेम आणि लीव्स यांचे मॉडिफिकेशन शिकलोय, असंख्य मॉडिफिकेशन शिकलोय. आणि ते शिकत असताना आपण असं पाहिलं होतं की काही मॉडिफिकेशन्स हे व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपगेशनला मदत करत असतात. ते कोणते त्याची मी थोडक्यात आठवण करून देतोय. से द नॅचरल व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपगेशन इज कॅरीड आउट बाय so many different modified vegetative plant parts. Modified vegetative plant parts. Let me tell you. Say, first of all, tuberous roots. Tuberous roots. Now it is not the time to talk about the tuberous roots because we have studied about it in 11th. We have studied about the tuberous roots in 11th. Now here, just I want to tell you, tuberous roots, for example, sweet potato and dahlia, asparagus. In these plants, the natural vegetative propagation is carried out with the help of tuberous roots. In 11th, we have studied there are so many underground modifications of stem. Underground modifications of stem. You just recall yourself. Say the first of all, rhizome. Example, do you remember? Ginger, I hope you do remember. Canna, lotus, etc. In these plants, the vegetative propagation is carried out with the help of rhizome. Second, we can say that is the corn. Corn, underground modification of the stem. It bring about the natural vegetative propagation. Example, banana, suran, amorphophilus. I hope you do remember. Then we can say the bulbs. Example, onion and garlic bulbs. Then next we can say tuber, a very typical example. I hope you do remember. Underground modification of stem, tuber. Yes, potato, correct. So the rhizome, corn, bulbs, tuber, all these, they help in the natural vegetative propagation of plants. In addition to that, some subaerial modifications of stem, such as runner and stolons. Do you remember? Example of runner, that is cynodon, dube grass, lawn grass, okay, in which the vegetative propagation is carried out with the help of runner. Stolon, it is also subaerial modification of stem and it is seen in Vallisneria. Opset, it is also the I will say it is subaerial modification and it is mostly seen in aquatic plants. Opset. In addition to that, there are certain other modifications of stem, but they are aerial. Cactus, opuntia, nodung, याच्यामध्ये एरियल स्टेमच्या मदतीने नॅचरल व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपगेशन घडू शकतं. फक्त रूट आणि स्टेम नाही तर आपण म्हणू शकतो की काही ठिकाणी द रिप्रोडक्शन, the natural vegetative propagation is carried out with the help of some specialized structure, that is bulbils. Bulbils, 11वीत आपण शिकलोय. In certain plants, the natural vegetative propagation may be carried out with the help of leaves. I hope you do remember bryophyllum. It is not the right time to discuss about it. But you know, in Bryophyllum, the leaves are thick, fleshy, and along the lateral margin of that leaves, some buds are present, adventitious buds, also called foliar buds. And when this leaf falls in soil under suitable condition, these buds present along the margin of leaf, they grow into the new plant body. It means here briefly I want to tell you, in higher plants the natural vegetative propagation occur by these different structures. Here I have listed these different structures. So here we have studied about the natural vegetative propagation. Now we people have to study about the artificial vegetative propagation seen in higher plants, and what are those methods. So dear friends, just now I have delivered lecture, and if you liked it, definitely I would like to say that please like my lecture and subscribe this channel. Thank you and all the best.